I have partnered up with Alois to make a brand new Mordekaiser guide, and I would say it is the best Mordekaiser guide out there right now. I have given out every single piece of information that I could think of. Absolutely anything that I use, I gave out in this guide. Explaining mid to late game stages, itemization, runes, combos, absolutely anything and everything I could think of. Even video matchups, and some of these video matchups go on to be 20 minutes or longer, just for that one particular matchup. Currently, there are not all top lane champions in video format, but over time I will add more and more of them. This is also where the tips and tricks section of the matchup spreadsheet went, in case you were all wondering. As part of the agreement, I had to move it to this guide exclusively. Every other guide I have is still completely untouched, and the rest of the spreadsheet on top of the mobafire guide is still also the same on the Mordekaiser side. If you want to check it out, you can use the link in the description. With all that being said, please enjoy this video. This is actually a pretty skilled matchup. Garen will most likely go phase rush into you and not Conqueror. If he has Conqueror, he has greater dueling power. But if he takes phase rush, he's much more slippery, and he can escape you rather easily the moment he gets that stride breaker. He's most likely also going to go boots of swiftness. He might even max his Q, and if he does that, he will have even more speed. I actually took a bad trade here at level 1, because the moment he started spinning, I shouldn't have actually fought him, because I have my Doran's Blade and he has Doran's Shield with second wind. So that means he's going to sustain back up really easily, especially because he also has his passive. So I should have just done an auto W and walked away. This is why you can't really deny Garen level 1 experience, because you're gonna be too low and then you're gonna have to give up lane priority on levels 2 and 3 because he can unironically kill you. What you want to look to do is try to freeze it on your side of the lane, and this will make it to where Garen has to walk up, and if he does that, then you can ghost him down and kill him in the early game even if he has phase rush. What he can do is fight you early on and chunk you out like he did on that level 1, and then even if you ghost him down, you might actually lose the 1v1 in melee range due to his ignite. You also need to watch out for his level 6 power spike. If you dip down to around 60% health and he has ignite and ult up, you might just straight up die in a full combo. The moment he gets stride breaker, the lane is so much easier for him, because he's going to be able to proc phase rush super easily, and the stride breaker active is very good for him. If you want to, you can go phase rush into Garen as well, and then you will match his phase rush, and then you're gonna be able to chase him down whenever he procs it. If not, it might not always be ideal. Bladed steel caps or boots of swiftness can be good to rush into Garen, but you can't always do it. For example, this game I might need to go Mercury treads because they have a lot of crowd control, but at least the tenacity isn't wasted against Garen, because it will make it to where when he actually uses his Q to silence you, the actual silence lasts for less, which means that after his combo of QE stride breaker, you might be able to still be in range to pull him back. Sterak's Gauge is also a pretty good item into Garen because it'll block all of his ulti damage, and you are going to need it if you want to teamfight into him later on.
First, slain.
I have absolutely no idea as to how this pool missed. That miss makes it to where I die from this instead of killing. What Cassante can do is just perma-sit back and farm up. He doesn't actually have to fight you necessarily if he doesn't wanna, unless you're super aggressive like I'm being here at level 1. And then he might try to fight me to actually get the minion experience. But this is a pretty skilled lane overall for both sides. His W can cancel out your E if timed properly, but you can also cancel out his W if you time it correctly as well, on top of being able to stop his E dash. It's mostly about spacing and dodging out as many Qs as you can against him. Try to run in circles around him or make your movement unpredictable so that he hits you with way less Qs. I typically like to rush Spear of Shojin into Cassante. What you can do is go for something like Plated Steel Caps into Shojin, and that's pretty good. And then afterwards you can go for something like a Stride Breaker or Sterax or whatever else. Generally I like to go Sterax after my Shojin. The ulti damage you will have will be really high because you also take Axiom Arcanist. Be careful when he actually all out because his damage gets to be quite high, especially if he ever gets his fully charged W onto you. That will chunk you out really hard. You also don't want to just get kidnapped under turret, so keep that in mind as well. If he does, you basically die on the spot, because his W stun will last a significant amount of time, and then he's gonna use his ultimate to extend that crowd control duration even further, and then he's gonna be in his all-out form and you're probably dead. If you can, also try to freeze on your side of the lane, and then he will be forced to walk up the farm, and he will either have to give up CS or fight you, and if he tries to fight you, you're probably going to win it, and then you can kill him or chunk him out really hard, which might force him to just recall. Now I can just hold this freeze here and deny him from just walking up. If he does, he will die.
has been slain.
In the early game, this lane is rather easy, and this is because you can kinda just bully Sion really hard. If he walks up the farm, you can most likely just straight up kill him. The annoying part is the fact that he can kinda keep his distance away from you, and he can use his Q and E to slow you down and CC you, and slowly chip at your health, and that's what makes the lane frustrating. And he can do that even better if he has phase rush, because you will need to wait for him to proc it and then you can engage him. For example, if you pull him first and then he procs phase rush, he will be able to sprint away, unless you just ghost after him. He can also go for Boots of Swiftness, which will make him even quicker. You can go for a Stride Breaker rush here if you want to in this lane, but I personally go for Spear of Shojin first, and then I go for Stride Breaker. His W shield later on will be really high, and if he manages to get about 3 or 4 items, it will take you such a long time to kill him. If you want to actually side lane into Sion and kill him, you will need Blade of the Ruin King. If not, you will have to attack him for a solid 30 to 40 seconds, and that just might not be worth it. What you can do is go into team fights and stack up on him 5 stacks, and then flash onto the backline. His ultimate can also go through your E, so keep that in mind. This is a rather unique game, because basically their entire comp is melee range, so that means that I don't necessarily need Stride Breaker here. I can go for something like Overlord's Bloodmail or Titanic Hydra or Steraks Gauge and just completely skip the Stride Breaker, and instead have more melee power. For example, I can go Spear of Shojin into Overlord's Bloodmail, and that will give me a very good amount of attack damage. When I am low and my passive is up, even as a second item, Overlord's Bloodmail will easily give me like 100 plus attack damage. And that will be totally fine here because they all want to jump in. I can also go for Serpent's Fang this game because they have a lot of shields. And even Black Cleaver might not be that terrible. But what will most likely happen is I go for Spear of Shojin, Overlord's Bloodmail, and Steraks Gauge. Or Shojin, Bloodmail, Titanic Hydra. And then I can use the auto attack reset from Titanic Hydra to get 5 stacks even quicker. I actually do like their comp here, because it allows me to go in really hard, duel them out in melee range, and then have big damage on top of a huge ultimate nuke. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
Night is falling on the old world. You won't live to see the new one.